And we are live, I believe. Welcome, everybody. I'm Claire. Welcome to my channel. You probably know that if you're here. But welcome to Stitch and Bitch. I am going to mute us in the other window. And if everybody would like to introduce themselves, and then we can tell you what we're all working on today, because for once we're working on the same thing. Ray, do you want to go first?
Oh, sure. So I'm Freya. I'm from the channel The Bookfinch. I talk about a lot of manga, anime, and SFF books. And recently, I've been trying to do some Hugo content. So, yeah, that's me.
Also, your art content.
Oh, yes.
That's true. That's true.
Rachel?
My name is Rachel. My channel is Colonati, and I usually talk about science fiction and fantasy and a lot of other stuff.
Let's see. Di?
Hi, I'm Di. I technically have a channel that I have not used recently because the world is a hellhole and I haven't been able to focus. I read a lot of science fiction, fantasy, nonfiction, and right now I'm very stressed about a soccer game.
Bree? You're muted.
My name is Bree. I do a lot of science fiction and fantasy as well, sensing a general theme. And I do a lot of commentary on literary analysis when I can talk. My channel is Bree Reads Books.
Yeah, and I mean, we're gonna talk about this, but yeah, me and Bree and Di and a bunch of other people have been working on putting together some panels to complement Worldcon coming up next week, and like, so that's been taking all my time. I don't know, but so we're gonna talk about that because all the time it has eaten up. This is my way of saying that I should have been casting this on beforehand, and I have not. So.
Your hair looks so pretty and red today.
Thank you. I've had my hair red for a really, really long time. And I guess we haven't done a Stitch and Bitch on my channel since monetization was enabled on my channel, because they took it out. They took it away a few years back. And now it's back. And Marcus gave me £20. Thank you so much. This is weird because if anybody watching doesn't know, I work for a different YouTube channel where we do live streams every week. And my job on the live stream is to read the super chats, and I've never had one for me. It's very special. Thank you. You're like my first super chat. Yay! Anyway, speaking of the place I will probably spend this money at, I've got some yarn. It's gorgeous. This is the what's it called? Alba Ether. Aether? I don't know. It's the Glasgow bid. It's the Glasgow 2024 Worldcon bid yarn that was designed and produced by Third Vault Yarns, which is a fantastic nerdy yarn business that is based here in the UK. I mean, I don't know if... Anyway, it's based in the UK. It's a Black-owned business, and that is why I am picking this yarn today. So shout out to Third Vault Yarn. We'll put links to all of the places down in the description. I apologize that I didn't do that beforehand. And yeah, this is what I'm going to use for our make-along. Rachel, do you want to talk about the make-along? And
Speaking of the Glasgow 2024 yarn Alba Ether, this is what it looks like when it's knitted up.
Oh, I can't wait.
Just a coincidence. This is also a hat pattern by Lola Johnson of Third Vault Yarns, so that's why I used my alba ether yarn for it. But yeah, this month we are starting our make-along for 2 hats. One is knitted and one is crocheted. The knitted pattern is this one. It is called Time Vortex. It's a bit of like a beanie cloche hat. I'm actually going to put it on. This is so weird. I never wear hats.
Nice. Ooh, I like it.
So it is Doctor Who inspired. And it's very difficult to see. I'm actually doing the embroidery now, but it has charts. It's a spiral hat. You can kind of see the line where the spiral is, if I get it in there right. But within the spiral, there are charts for Roman numerals for the different iterations of the Doctor. So,
hey, do you want to? I'm gonna put you solo. Do you want to show the hat close to your camera again?
If I can get
you
it
might
up
see
there.
better.
Okay, you can see the detailing a little bit better there.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, I had so much fun doing this. But yeah, this is our knitted hat that we've picked out, and there will eventually be links and such down in the description. And then the crocheted hat that we are doing for the crocheters out there, I don't have mine far enough to really show that much of it, but this is the Ferns beanie by Nomad Stitches, and it is colorwork crochet or tapestry crochet. I can never keep the terms straight. And it's just a beanie style hat. And now if you can actually see the way the stitches look, it looks like knitting. Oh, it looks really good right there.
That looks really, I really like the colors, Rachel.
Yeah, it really pops. So this is single crochet done through the V rather than underneath the top loops. If you're a crocheter, you know what I'm talking about. And so it stacks the stitches on top of each other. When you're doing crochet in the round, they tend to drift, and that's not good for color work. So when you work in the V, it stacks them more vertically on top of each other. I've noticed there is still a little bit of a drift, but it's not terrible. So this is the top of the hat. And
yeah, because I've tried crochet hats before, and I've struggled with them before for that reason. So this is gonna be a really cool pattern. Thank you so much to Thomas, who gave €2 and says yay for monetization. Thank you.
I'm gonna go back to the grid.
Oh yes, I can. Sorry.
I can see you.
Let's see. And Elizabeth says Worldcon yarn. And yeah, I believe that Lola does yarns for EasterCon didn't happen this year because COVID, but Lola usually does yarns for EasterCons and Worldcons, and usually you show up an hour after the dealer's room open, and it's all sold out because it's beautiful, and it just goes like hotcakes, and then you can usually order some more. So
yeah. I was lucky enough to snag some of the Dublin yarn on her pre-order after Worldcon because I was able to see it at Worldcon, but there was not enough to actually purchase, and it is gorgeous as well.
Yeah.
Like, her work is beautiful.
I regret not ordering some of that.
Sorry, Thomas says, Rachel, does your hair go around your neck? That's cool. Hair is very, very long.
Sorry, I can't. Yes.
Oh, it's two. I thought it was a bit extreme even for you, but it's 2 of them. That makes sense.
Sorry, it keeps getting in my way, so I'm just doing this.
It's very
weird, but
I don't know. I was a little bit like, did I miss a Morgan Donner video? Like,
I mean, you should have seen it last year when we were braiding Rachel's hair for the Hugo Award ceremony. And it was
like 3 people involved at once.
Yeah, it was me and Andrea at least. And I think Kelsey was there. No, Kelsey wasn't there. I think there was at least 3 there.
I don't think I helped because I wanted to, because I love braiding, but I think I was so frazzled getting myself ready because I was...
No, I think you agreed to the rehearsal.
Yeah.
Because you were in the ceremony.
No, I did Elizabeth hair last year.
Yeah.
Too many hairs. I like doing hair. Did you say that one time you lost your wallet and somebody found you because of the hair?
Yeah, I went to a literary conference in university, and I lost my wallet while I was in a panel, and I was going back to the convention center to get it, and this guy came out of the front of the building, and he looked at me and he said, "Did you lose your wallet? Somebody said that the woman who lost it had really long hair." Like, well, at least I have a memorable feature.
Oh, wow. And okay, so we have immediately a question about Worldcon, which is very interesting. So we're going to talk about that because we're going to talk about that, obviously. So in new news, Elizabeth says, what do you think Worldcon New Zealand, so Con Zealand, which is happening this coming weekend, is all going to be online. What do you think it will be like? I'm in the US. Should I register to attend? So let's see. What it will be like, what the plan is right now, which I know because I've done participant training for panels, and I've done like training to moderate some of the panels, like not be on the panel and moderate, but moderate the room and make sure there's nothing bad in the chat of the room. So it's going to be Zoom webinars, which is slightly different than Zoom meetings. And so what you do is you join the Zoom webinar as a audience member, as an attendee, and there's a different status for the people who are running the session and who are panelists and stuff. So like they have a bit more control on the session, and you're obviously not going to appear because you're an attendee, but then you can like ask questions and stuff. So you'll have a chat feature, and you'll also have a Q&A feature. So in the chat, you can just talk to people, and then in the Q&A feature, you can ask the panelists questions and put in comments and stuff. And then, like the person who's moderating the room the person who's moderating the room and checking that there's nothing offensive in chat or whatever, they'll select questions that from the Q&A box that are good, and they'll send that to the moderator of the panel who's actually talking on the panel, so that they don't get too confused with too many things. And that's how it's gonna work technically. There's also a Discord, I think, that's how they're running like the social side of things, and I don't really know how that's gonna go because there was a Discord for WizCon, and I don't know who here went to online WizCon, but I found it very confusing. Thomas is making fun of me moderating panels for Worldcon because Thomas is someone who moderates panels with me, live streams with me for work, for my day job. So shush. Thomas, I went with my experience. I went with my skills that are transferable. And yeah, Shannon says I was completely lost with the WizCon Discord.
Yeah, I find Discord to be a little overwhelming, especially if there's a lot of people there. It's harder to... I don't know. I've used both Zoom Slack and Discord, and I find Discord to be, on the whole, way more overwhelming.
And Adri says WizCon Discord was intense, a lot of fun, but you had to mute 95% of the channels to get anywhere. That's true. And also, I don't know. I mean, maybe I just haven't found the place in Discord to like disable every notifications, but like I don't know. I like Slack better because I think you can make, I don't know, it's silly because they work very, very similarly to each other, and in fact Discord has more functionality than Slack, but I feel like Slack is less overwhelming because you can hide all your other Slacks, and this, you're on one Slack at one time, whereas Discord, like, you're seeing pings coming in all your servers, and I'm in like 10 of them. So it's just a lot. Marcus put in another £20. Thank you so much. I thank you. That's a lot. That is going to be super helpful, actually, because that'll be super helpful for transcriptions and captions and stuff. Because I am really bad at getting those done myself, so I pay somebody to do them for me. Let's see. So we've said what we're all making. What are we all currently reading? Raya, do you want to go first?
I am currently reading Rose of Versailles, the very first omnibus edition. I am sort of taking my time with it because it is so gorgeous. It's basically just me staring at a full page for 15 minutes before reading the following pages because it is so gorgeous. Also, super dramatic. French history in itself is very dramatic, and this is like amped up to 11 for all the drama and all the sparkly eyes and conniving.
Would you qualify it as historical?
Yeah, like what era, what time period in France?
I mean,
it's Louis XVI, right?
Yeah, prior and during the French Revolution. It's actually like very historically like accurate in terms of what characters appear and what's going on. Like it makes a point of reminding the reader that Marie Antoinette was actually like super uneducated and ill-fitting for the role of queen and stuff. So it's actually like, if you know French history, it's fun to read because you really see how much research Ryoko Ikeda did in order to get stuff right. But on the other hand, she also like dramatizes the shit out of everything. Like all the characters are like Duke Barry, for instance, is like amped up to 11. Like they really play her up as this conniving, bitchy character, and she's super fun because of that. But there's also like a lot of slut shaming because, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I've never actually read the manga for the Rose of Versailles. We had the anime on in France when I was a kid, like dubbed in French, and it was just so much fun. Like I remember loving that show, but yeah, I'm quite curious because I don't really remember anything from it except that, like, you know, just the opening credits that we had in France, and like the fact that like she has, you know, this like childhood best friend that like maybe not romance, whatever. And then I just don't really remember any of it. I feel like it would be a fun time to go. I don't know if it's affordable. I'd love to like do, you know, get them all and then do a reading vlog of rediscovering this thing from childhood.
Well, here's the
it's
thing.
Not affordable, is it?
The English omnibus editions are like $35 to $40 each, but they're like hardcovers and like super beautiful, and they have like more than one volume in them. But I think Rose of Versailles was licensed in France, and it's available in French in probably cheaper editions, because I tried to read it in French back in the day with the help of my trusty dictionary, not knowing a single word of French or never having studied it, just because I wanted to know and wanted to read it. That didn't go so well, though. Like I kind of gave up around the second volume, I think.
I just really appreciate the hustle there.
Yes.
Is that what are you reading other things as well? Is anybody actually doing the reading rush? I should have probably mentioned. If anybody's watching who doesn't know, there's this read along going on this week, and I'm going to let somebody else talk about it because I said I would do it and then I did not.
I mean, I did it.
7 challenges, 7 books.
I'm on my 7th book. Okay, wait a minute. I can't hear you guys because you're talking over each other. Raya?
Yeah, I was supposed to do it. I was doing it. I am doing it, but I have sort of kind of given up. Like I did the thing where I read Get a Life, Chloe Brown on the very first day of the readathon, and I just kind of just read it in one sitting. And then I kind of crashed and burned, and during this whole week, I've just been rereading the smut scenes from Get a Life, Chloe Brown every day for breakfast. So that's my week.
Yeah, I actually started Get a Life Chloe Brown, and I was really loving it, like listening to the audiobook a ton. And then this timeline, but I'm going to continue it because it was so good. Rachel, are you now finished with 7 books?
I have about 250 pages to go in a middle grade novel, and then I'll be done. So I'm reading Howl's Moving Castle. It's a fast read. It's so fun.
I love that book.
And the thing is, I've seen the movie version so many times now, and I haven't read the book in 17 years. So when I'm reading it, it's remarkably similar, and it's like I'm seeing the movie in my head while I'm watching it. It's so good. I'm going to have to rewatch the movie when I'm done.
Okay, somebody needs to tell me, where can I find the V's?
There's a chart on the, if you look on the page.
Yeah,
on the
I have the pattern over here, and it just...
It helps if your stitches are looser. I can't see what you're doing. If you want to hold it up.
It just looks like a...
Ram, maybe
sad
take
little...
a picture and drop it in the Twitter, and we can see a little better.
It's just
I
a
can
little...
actually kind of show you on mine. I'm working with a larger yarn. But if you're working, it's literally a V. And so, okay, this is where you'd usually put your hook under the 2 loops.
Yeah.
You want to go to the left of that. Sorry, I'm reverse, it's mirror image. You want to kind of go to the left and down.
Yeah, so
Okay,
see how
so
the legs...
there are these little like legs.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
you have
V
the
created by the legs.
horizontal and then vertical, so I go between the vertical ones?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And if
Okay.
it's hard to get your hook through that V, then you just need to loosen up your stitches. You can get it through, but it's tough. I started out like really tight on mine, and I'm slowly loosening up, and it's a lot easier.
Yeah. Ay.
I am listening to Good Omens.
Another good one.
Are you
All
doing the reading rush, Brie?
No, because I've had such a sporadic like reading experience the last couple months that I didn't want to commit.
Yeah.
I am planning on reading Howl's Moving Castle actually though sometime this upcoming month. Because I want to make a Sophie dress.
Yeah.
Say on.
So, Adri, the funny thing about Howl is I didn't remember him being exactly the way he is in the movie. But there's an interview with Diana Wynne Jones at the end of this edition, and she's basically complaining. She says, every time I go to like a conference or whatever, all the young ladies line up and tell me that they want to marry Howl. And she's like, but why? He's disgusting. And he flirts with all the ladies, and he throws temper tantrums, and he spends more time on his appearance than anything else.
Look, he also is like a PhD student who very much does not want to write his thesis, which I do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can feel that.
He seems like he's very fun to be around, but he would drive you crazy to actually live with him. He's a slob. It's so funny. I'd forgotten that the whole sequence with him like throwing a temper tantrum and being covered in green slime because his hair dye doesn't work out the right way. He gets really mad at Sophie because he thinks she's messed with his stuff. That whole sequence is in the book. It's great.
I love it. I'm going to have to hodgepodge together some patterns, I think, because I can't quite find the right pattern for what I'm going to be for Sophie's look. And I'm trying to actually match it, but I am not confident in my ability to draft patterns.
I mean, if you require help, I have a degree.
This is true. a good reminder. So when I'm like overwhelmed and crying, I'll just be like, Raya, help me.
Yeah, then we can be overwhelmed and cry together.
That's all I ask in life.
I love this take on how he's the friend you meet once every 6 months and can have a great time with, but you go away for a weekend one time and never again.
I think that's pretty accurate.
That's very true. More. We'll come back to that. More on Worldcon from Elizabeth, who says, I just found a program guide page. My brain might explode. We're going to have even more things to talk about to make your brain explode in a little bit.
I mean, Howl is the kind of character that when you visit his house, you end up cleaning after him for the whole time you're there.
Yeah.
So basically, he's me.
That's not. I feel like that comparison is not. I feel like that comparison is being unfair to you, but
No. My videos are heavily curated to give you the illusion that I have my shit together.
Well, I shall not show you the pile of shit that's in the background where you can't see it in this video. So I feel you. But also, Howl is not a very considerate human.
That is also
You're nicer than he is. So anyway, let's see. I have read. Well, I'm not. I was kind of doing the reading rush, but now I'm not doing the reading rush because there was a shiny idea at the beginning of the week and it's consumed the week. More on that anon, as Bernadette Banner would say. But I have read a thing this week, and that is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer Volume 1 High School is Hell. That's
Yeah, I read that one earlier this year. I think it was good.
Yeah. I really like the art. So it's by Georgie Belair, Dan Moore, and Raul Angulo. And I really like the art in it. And it's also like really, it's really colorful. Wait a second. I shall make myself all big and important. But like, it's really, really colorful. And you can see that like they've really captured like SMG, and it's nice. So yeah, we've got a lot of. It's interesting because it's like it's a modernization. It's not like it's from Boom. It's from Boom Comics, and all the other like continuation comics from Buffy are all from Dark Horse, and they're in a different continuity altogether. This is like a reboot. She has a smartphone in her hand on the cover, which is the first indication. And like when you start, you know, she's just arrived at Sunnydale High and Giles is a librarian and stuff. But so that's the setup. But like, you know, Xander has a gaming channel, and Willow is like already out and like a delightful goth, and Cordelia is nice. Like, she's very popular and everything, but she does that by being extremely friendly with everyone, and it's weird. And Willow has an adorable girlfriend. So
yeah, I really liked how they reimagined Buffy to be taking place in the modern era. The one complaint that I do have about that is Xander is still the fucking worst.
Xander has always been the fucking worst.
I know, but I was like hoping that with the reimagining that they would make him not quite as insufferable.
Then again, if you change too much, then you have the risk of not having him as a recognizably Xander type of person. I think Xander being a shithead is kind of like the essence of his character.
I don't know that I would necessarily agree with that, but I do think that, like, for me in the TV show, like, what is a problem with Xander is like the way he continues to behave and doesn't change. For me, the fact that he's like a bit shit in the first book, I'm just like, I want to know where they take it. I have the second one as well. I haven't read it yet, but I do have the second volume. That's not the second volume. That's the Con Zealand program. The second volume is under a pile of things that will fall if I touch it. So I will not show it to you. But I will show you the Con Zealand program because it has a cool dinosaur. Godzilla monster. So there you go. You know, the fact that Xander is kind of like needy and thinks my friends don't like me because they don't want to hang out with me and whatever. I'm like, I feel like there's a way to do that that's not as insufferable as what they did on the show. And so I'm kind of waiting to see how it goes forward in this, but I've only read volume 1. So.
I think there's also just a very real like high school aspect of like my friends maybe don't like me. They're just here around me because I'm here. That is very like it's peak high school experience.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I have that feeling on a fairly frequent basis.
Yeah.
Because brains are dicks sometimes. So, you know, I kind of sympathize. I think what I'm looking forward to seeing is how they treat like his crush on Buffy in the later books, because in this one it's like he has a crush on Buffy, and one of the characters are moved all over the timeline. Like, you know, some characters show up really early on. Some characters are in completely different roles, which was very exciting. And one of the characters that's brought super forward is Principal Wood, whatever his first name is, I don't recall. Robin. Yeah, okay, that's... Anyway, so Robin Wood is brought forward like super far, you know, from like a very late season, and he's a high school student. And so immediately this like thing where in the show him and Buffy have a thing, maybe like that comes in really early when they're both in school, and Xander's super jealous. And I'm like, well, you know, that doesn't make you like having a crush on somebody who doesn't like you back is fine. It's just how you handle it. And I'm looking forward to see how he handles it. Anyway. Still doesn't deserve Cordelia though. I started last night The Order of the Pure Moon. Reflected
Are you liking it?
Sure.
Oh, declare freeze.
I think
Side note for everyone in the chat who's talking about Mexican Gothic, did it not just like, ooh, so good. Also Penric. I was seeing some comments about The Curse of Chalian and Penric, and I was like, yes.
Yes.
I was going to try and read Mexican Gothic for the reading rush since apparently August has 2 birthstones, and the cover for Mexican Gothic combines the 2 colors really well.
That's amazing.
Yes, but I am very behind on the reading rush because I made a rookie move of reading a nonfiction book.
Rookie move.
I know. I know we lost.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll jump back on here in a second. She just, you know. But I also... So I live in the same metro area as Lois McMaster Bujold, and I found the Penric bind-ups signed, and so I maybe...
Where?
At Dreamhaven, the place that I've been telling you that I want to take you forever.
Uh-huh.
Like, a number of them signed, like they had a stack of them. Do you want me to pick some up and send them to you?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go this week.
I know I already own the Subterranean Press Collector's Editions, but I want both.
I was going back and forth between they also have the individual novellas all signed. Yeah. And I was like, which ones do I want? But I think
omnibus ones are obviously more they're not as expensive.
That one.
But yeah, I want both. And also, that's probably some of the best cover art that Bujold has ever gotten out
Yeah.
of Bane. I mean, I know Bane has their very typical long running cover art style, but I think it's slightly atrocious.
Yeah, I've been passing them around to anybody who's like, I just need something of escapism. I'm like, here, try Penric. You'll love him. He's perfect.
Yeah.
Claire is back.
Yeah, sorry. I'm glad to see that my internet didn't like actually destroy the entire live stream. Cause I started the StreamYard, so I was really worried. I hope you guys didn't hear me like cursing loudly at my computer whilst I was turning on. Yeah. So anyway, we're tethering now. It's fun.
Rachel, I have a question about the Time Vortex hat.
Yeah.
So in the bit, I think it's like row 19. I'm on row 23. Is there supposed to be like a bit of garter stitching in there?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah, it's like two. It's over. Sorry, I'm backwards.
No, okay, yeah. Okay, I didn't.
Two horizontal lines, and it kind of marks the front of the hat.
Okay,
start.
Awesome. I didn't know because, like, I know that there had been some problems with the pattern in terms of, like, I'm looking at
errors in some of the things that, like, there's somewhere later in the pattern it says to do a single row of that again, but it's obviously not the same detailing, and I'm like, that's a mistake.
Oh yay, my team won.
Yay! Go
Yay.
team. I know sports ball.
I'm starting this like for the 5th time now.
Oh dear. Okay. Wow, that was a fun experiment. My live streaming, I'm cursed. I'm live stream cursed. It's like my curse of unboxings. I'm so bad at filming unboxings, and my internet is so bad at dealing with live streams. And it's good internet, so I don't know why, but there we go. Let's see. I just started holding this up when I when everything broke. I just started this last night, The Order of the Pure Moon Reflected in Water by Zen Cho, which is like a wuxia story. So the kind of pitch for this is like a bandit walks into a bar, like a bandit. This is like a bandit, a nun, and like somebody else walk into a bar. I've just got to the bit where the bandit is in the coffee house, and then there's a big fight, which was very, very cool. It's a very tiny novella, and the hardback edition. Well, there's only a hardback edition, but it has beautiful deckled edges, and the art is amazing.
And I'm like, cover.
I'm like 20 pages in, but very excited for this one because I love Zencho. Dear, dear. And Natalie says, keep it up. This is a little sticker. I love those little stickers that come with the super chats. They're ridiculous. They're amazing. Okay. Thank you so much, Natalie. Let's see. Worldening says, might want to try another PC and see if the issues are replicated. It's not the PC, it's the internet. The internet went down. Now I'm tethering on my phone data. So, which is fine because I never use my phone data because I don't go out of my house anymore. So I have plenty of it. So
I went up to a family cabin this weekend and just sat in the sun and actually swam, and it was the best thing in my whole life. I have never liked going to a cabin more than after 4 months of quarantine.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Really jealous. I would love to like go to a beach house and like not swim because the oceans here are really cold, but just chill.
I'd give anything.
It worked.
Ooh.
Oh, cool. I like that.
I mean, at this point, I would give anything to go to my dad's summer house so that I could like swim in the lake. But no, I'm stuck on the other side of the country.
I mean, yeah, I just I recently was forced to travel, so I've been staying in like even more and not even going to the shops or anything like that, and I've been wearing a mask like when I go on a walk and not in a shop. I usually try to find like walking routes where it's not busy, and I can go at any time of day, so usually I can do that. But I am looking forward to being able to just like going into the back of our building without a mask.
Yeah,
But,
I mean,
the back of our building, the back of our building is a collective bed that all the neighbors use, which is why I can't right now go into it. But it's going to be 14 days since I came back, like during this week where I am off work. And so I'm planning on sitting down there and reading, and it's going to be nice.
I think I am going to admit defeat at this point and work on something that I actually know how to do and try again. Because I can't do the time vortex hat because I think we don't need to work it in the round.
No.
Okay, well.
You can do it on straight needles. It's worked flat.
Well,
until you get to the crown.
Yeah.
I am working the fern hat, and just so you know, Rhea, it takes a couple rounds before it looks like anything other than a giant knot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
I know that, but I just like I can't seem to get the tension in the couple first rounds loose enough that I can fit in the legs. That sounded wrong.
Yeah, in the little V's. Yeah, I know what you mean. But I've had that kind of issue before. Like the first time I tried to knit something with a yarn from Third Vault, I tried to do this like shawl that is really, really beautiful, but just like the way it was worked, like just didn't go for my, sometimes there are things that are easier than others to do, and it didn't work for my hands. But oh dear. Let's see. Did we get through everybody while I was out?
Did Di or Bree or Rachel talk about what they read?
I was saying that I'm listening to Good Omens, but I did finish The Only Good Indians also last week, which was phenomenal.
That's the one that I said I wasn't going to read because it was too scary. So was it like definitely horror?
I mean, it's horror, but I would say it's more paced like the Twisted Ones. So I think you could probably manage it. Although I know you made an exception for that because of Vernon.
Yeah.
Are you making an exception for Mexican Gothic because of Silvia Moreno Garcia?
That too, but also I didn't think that Mexican Gothic was scary. It has body horror in it, which I don't think is scary. I think it's just really gross out. So
yeah.
I still didn't read it at night though.
Fair enough.
That's super fair. So would you say it's more of a thriller?
Mexican Gothic?
Yeah.
No, I think it's a historical fiction Gothic novel with some body horror thrown in.
I would say it's kind of, to me, it felt a little bit in the vein of We Have Always Lived in the Castle.
Good comparison.
With more supernatural elements.
Mm-hmm.
I made my partner listen to it this week because he loves horror, and I was like, you just need to love this with me.
Shannon says, agreed with Rachel about Mexican Gothic, not scary, just creepy with body horror at the end. I don't really do a lot of horror or thriller. Some people said thriller, and I was just like, oh, will I like that? But historical novel with Gothic element sounds like yes to me. So I'm definitely gonna have to see if they have audiobook of that, because I think right now in the UK you can only get the audiobook for Signal to Noise, and not her other books, which is very annoying to me.
Also,
Not even Gods of Jade and Shadow?
Well, why do you think I haven't finished reading it after 5 months? It's because I need to like sit down and read it with my eyes, and I don't really do that except for comics and really short things.
I guess it just didn't actually like click for me. That was not a brain working moment.
Yeah. Also,
No. It's just, sorry, I just said that like you know everything. That was a bit presumptuous, but yeah, it's because every time I do like a wrap up or D&D picks my reading, I'm always like, I promise I'm enjoying this book. I'm just not good at like blocking out an hour of time and reading with my eyes in my bed. Like,
I will say, grab a copy of like a physical copy of Mexican Gothic, because the UK edition does have a mistake for the dedication. This came out yesterday, I think.
okay.
Well, the real dedication is para. It's like to my mother, so it's like para mi madre. But the UK edition, it says para mi padre.
Interesting.
I swear, like, yeah, this came out yesterday where she was like, oh God, thank God my mother got the US version and not the UK version.
That's funny.
Yeah, that can be either like a hilarious thing that you talk about at Christmas dinner, or like really bad, depending on like actual family situation.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Let's see. Adri says her thriller Untamed Shore is also available on UK Audible, but no Gods of Jade and Shadow. Boop.
Does anybody know if Untamed Shore is already out of print in the hardcover edition?
I don't know if it's out of print, but it's hard to get. Like, I ordered it from my indie, I want to say like May or April, and I just got it this month.
I was going to order it too from a local indie bookstore, and they were like, nope, we can't obtain it right now.
Yeah,
At all.
like it definitely took a couple of months. Like, let me double check and see.
I wondered if it was related to the kind of like printing warehouse backlog with COVID-19, because it came out in like February and everybody wanted to order it during lockdown, basically.
Yeah. So I had ordered it in mid-April, and I didn't get it until early July, because it came in the same order as my Mexican Gothic.
Wow.
But I mean, it was from a small publishing house, and I think there was only
that's what Shannon just said. It was a limited printing. Interesting. People need to stop doing limited print runs of Garcia's work, because like her earliest novels are out of print. Tor's bringing some of them back, but it's like she's really popular. Maybe print more copies.
I know, right?
Tor is bringing all of her books that have been out of print back into print,
but not like Signal to Noise. Signal to Noise wasn't on the list.
Yeah, but Signal to Noise isn't out of print.
Yeah, I thought it was in the US.
It's not out of print.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We can only get it on paperback, but it's not out of print.
Yeah, whereas her other two, Certain Dark Things and The Beautiful Ones, there was like an issue, I think, where the publishing house, one, didn't know how to market it, and two, the editor that had acquired her books left. And so it was one of those situations where they didn't give her a lot of support because the person who had championed her work was no longer with the publishing house.
Yeah, but for such a prolific author and author that's increasingly popular, her works are so hard to obtain. Like if you want to collect every book.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's I mean, the idea that like, oh, no one's gonna read this book because it's like set in Mexico City or whatever, and it's like, but maybe if it was a debut, you'd say that, you know, if you were racist, but maybe somebody would say that in an acquisition meeting for a debut, but it's not a debut. She's a really popular author. What?
and consistently does so well.
Right?
Mhm. Like it's like doing this in the face of data. I wonder if it's something that I don't know. It seems very odd and like I'm not
Well.
sure. Maybe there's something in the background that we don't know.
Well, now that she actually got on the bestseller list, in like
Oh wait, did they correct that?
No,
no. She got on the bestseller list now with Mexican
Gothic, yeah.
Yeah, previously she was supposed to get on it with Gods of Jade and Shadow, but they changed the rules on how to calculate who gets on it. Just like she barely like missed out, and it was super like okay.
Yeah, I mean, really, Brie, when you say flying in the face of data, like that's the fact that people will make decisions that do not benefit them financially because they believe that, it can't work because of racism. Like,
Are you
that's
are
data,
you saying, Claire?
that data about the flying in the face of data, you know what I mean? Anyway, yes, it's not weird, right? It's just
Are you saying that people aren't actually rationally self-interested?
I mean,
I'm saying racism doesn't make sense.
Great. We all know economics is just astrology for men. Am I wrong?
Mm-hmm.
I see this currently reading a book that kind of, so I'm reading The Smartest Guys in the Room, which is about the rise and fall of Enron. And like that book, it's very dense. And that was my mistake about reading a nonfiction book for the reading rush. But it does hammer home that economics and Wall Street is astrology for men.
Well, it's not wrong.
I have a book called it's called Not All Dead White Men, and it's about how people have twisted the works of classical philosophy for years to benefit like this traditional straight white men kind of lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very interested to start it. It was published by Harvard University Press last year.
And Shannon points out that Mexican Gothic is like in its 5th printing now, which is cool.
I mean,
yeah.
Speaking of philosophy, Brie, my favorite philosopher was the person, I don't remember his name, but he lived in a barrel.
Diogenes?
Was it that guy?
Yeah.
Anyway, he basically lived in a barrel and was very anti-elitism and anti-government.
Yeah, no, that's definitely what Google says about it. So there you go, Diogenes. But yeah. So I think, Di, are we missing you for what you're reading, or are you slumping? Like,
no, I did read some stuff. So I was participating in the reading rush. So I read The Flowers of Vashnoi, which was very good. I love Katrin Verkosigan a lot. I also read Take a Hint, Danny Brown, which is the sequel to Get a Life, Chloe Brown, which was great. If you're like me and love fake dating, this is the romance book for you. There is some excellent fake dating and pining, and we will not catch feelings. Oh, wait, yes, we do. And that. And the romantic lead loves romance novels.
I mean,
the guy.
I want so bad to read the sequel, but also I don't have time to continue rereading smut scenes for breakfast every day.
Yeah,
I mean, don't you?
Technically, I should be working on my thesis, but
But yes,
it helps to have time to decompress.
exactly.
As I found
That's
this
true.
week when I didn't take any.
I mean, when I was reading, like I listened to Chloe Brown mostly on audio, and the way that I did it was that I went for a walk because I had to take pictures of traffic signs for my data sets. So I just listened to it and then went with my camera and took pictures of traffic signs. All of the there are a lot of building sites near me, so all of the people working on the building sites looked at me weird when I went and took pictures of the traffic signs, like, what the hell are you doing? Like, from multiple different angles.
So Shannon points out appropriately that there is also lunch and dinner.
That is true.
I mean, that's like really good problem solving, Shannon. And thank you, Natalie. Natalie says LMAO. Presumably that's to the astrology for men thing.
I mean, Shannon is right. There is lunch and dinner, if I remember.
To have lunch or dinner.
Yeah. That is
Mm-hmm.
the thing. That is the thing that happens.
Oh yeah.
Like,
so,
most of the arguments in this household between me and my partner are because I forget to eat and then I act like an obnoxious brat because I am hungry. And they're like, when was the last time you ate? I'm like, I don't remember.
Yeah. I feel that so much. Yesterday I went to a new dose of my ADHD medicine. Like, I went up one dose and I forgot to eat from breakfast to dinner. And I also, it's not my fault. It's the medication. Now I know, so I can avoid it in future. It's one of the side effects. Because you hyperfocus, you focus easier, and then you get like in your head. Anyway, never mind that.
But yeah, it's like the moment you start doing something and you get into the flow of doing it, and then it's like time ceases to exist and you just exist in the workflow, and then someone taps you on the shoulder and you basically shit bricks because you don't even realize they're there.
Well, time is just, I think time in 2020 make fools of us all. But if it is just harder to, time is one of those things that ADHD brains like really just don't mesh with anyway. I would like to take time now to tell everybody where all of my time and brain has gone this week, because I'm super excited. Thank you, Bree. Thank you for your encouragement. So
I am also super excited.
So earlier this week, we were talking with some friends, and we had a shiny idea, and then we took it and ran with it, even though there was definitely not enough time to make it happen. So a group of us are putting together some Fringe Worldcon content, Fringe Con Zealand content. We're not calling it Worldcon anything because, that's protected and stuff. So we're doing... Sorry?
Off-Broadway.
Yes, exactly. A Fringe festival of Con Zealand content, off-Broadway Con Zealand. Like, kind of like an opening act, basically, because it's a set of panels, and all of them will be, like, before the actual convention program starts, every day of the con. The convention program runs in Con Zealand, in New Zealand time. So, for me in the UK, the first of the panels are going to be like 10 p.m. in the evening. So, there's the entire day. And then, if you get up at a sensible time in the morning, you can catch some more before they stop for the night. But it is, we just thought there's time in the day for us. So basically, we're going to do some live stream panels that will be hosted on BookTube, on various people's BookTube channels. And we had a shiny idea, and then it's morphed in 15 different panels, which was definitely too much to arrange in such a short amount of time. Wow. But it's getting there. It's getting there. I bloody wish. But it's not, I mean, Worlds and Ink says CounterCon, but it's not really, because it's not like, you know, it's just going to be a different attendance, right? Like it's more...
It's complimentary con.
Yeah, right. It's more of an opening act, because the panels are going to be at 6 p.m., 6 to 7 p.m. UK time, and then 8 to 9 p.m. UK time. So like you can watch one, you can eat food, you can watch another one, and then you can be ready for like watching Con Zealand panels if you have a membership. And then if you don't have a membership, you can get an idea of what Worldcon panels are like, maybe for next year, something like that. We have some really cool guests that have signed on. And also that means that we get to bring people from the Worldcon community who will know these guests and who will be interested in this type of paneling to BookTube and like show them BookTube SFF, which will be really exciting. Can
you give a teaser on who's going to be participating?
Probably I'm probably gonna give you more of a teaser on the panels and what they're about.
Yes.
See, the thing is, I'm gonna open my work document for this to talk to you about it, and then I'm gonna find like a million things that need doing and padding. But yeah, like Bree and Di have been doing a lot of work for it as well. In fact, I think I can tease that Rachel is going to be hosting a panel.
Yes.
So that's really exciting.
I've
I'm going to be
slightly convinced I should participate in said panel, not just host it.
yes. I think you'll do amazing. Because some of the panels, we try to come up with panels that like, some of them we tried to include things that felt a little bit like BookTube style content. So one of the panels is going to focus on like good things, books and media that we really enjoyed this year, which feels like, you know, a kind of favorite video that you would see. And then there's another one that's about anticipated things. And that, again, feels like a video format we see on BookTube. And I like the idea of meshing those things, you know. E says, this shiniest idea will leave Claire sleeping for an entire week afterwards. Yes, please, I would love that.
Yeah,
that sounds Jesus.
E is not wrong with that.
I mean, we would hope that you would get some sleep and rest, but we shall see if that actually happens.
Well, I mean, I need to, because, well, first of all, I almost said I'm on holiday, which is not true. I was meant to finish working. I was meant to finish working for my day job yesterday and be on holiday as of this morning. But because this has taken so much time, I've kind of shifted my work hours so that I could do a bulk of work for Con Zealand Fringe like earlier. So now I still have a bunch of video editing to do tonight, but hopefully tomorrow I should be on holiday and that will be nice. He says compliment con, which both compliments Worldcon and in which we give each other glowing compliments. They are correct as ever. And they are a wonderful, wonderful human with gorgeous hair and a binging cat. Awesome cat. Where is the info on the panels going to be posted? Oh yeah, you just reminded me, Shannon, that I need to write to File 770 about it. So we're putting together a website. So there's going to be there's going to be a landing page that people can view. I mean, it's going to be fairly bare bones because, like, literally we had the idea on Monday evening. So, let's see. Well, right now we're calling it, people are talking about CounterCon and ComplimentCon in the comments. Right now we're calling it Con Zealand Fringe because I mentioned it to the program team at Con Zealand and they didn't yell at me, so we're going with that. Elizabeth says, you're exploding my brain more. Thank you. We've worked really hard and we hope it's going to be cool. But yeah, if you've never done a Worldcon, you can like check that out and see if it sounds like something you'd like to see. Adri says, I wandered off for a minute and missed Fringe chat. Woo, Fringe! Adri is one of the main organizers of Fringe and has worked so bloody hard. So yeah, it's really good. Let's see. Copper Hamster says an insane idea, which you have to do major work with no time, too many other things to do. You and John have nothing in common. John is my partner. I resent that comment. This is not a John thing. This is an ADHD thing. I just hyper-focused on this the entire week.
I do like FrenzyCon.
I'm sorry?
Someone called it FrenzyCon in the comments, and I think that's kind of funny.
Well, I mean, what I would hope, speaking of compliment con, Adri's being nice to me, so I'm going to put it up because I'm too tired to not take compliments about it. What I'm hoping is that maybe at some point we decide that we want to do it again, and instead of taking 5 days to plan it, we could take 5 months. Maybe, you know.
That would be a much more reasonable amount of time.
Right.
Well, I mean, maybe hopefully DC Worldcon will.
Well, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with that? You know, because it's DC Worldcon. You know, there's just a lot of. I mean, I hate to bring it up, but a lot of DC Worldcon rides on the election. So. Yeah.
And also, I mean, understandable.
I would say, I think anything for me personally, as somebody who is as somebody who is a fan of BookTube as well as a booktuber and a fan of Worldcon as well as a Worldcon organizee person, and also, you know, a fan of like in transformative fandom spaces, anything for me that can like smush the Venn diagram together is something that I enjoy. And also, you know, I think, you know, Con Zealand have had to change all of their plans and throw everything out the window and like change to a virtual con with not that much time to go in terms of planning something as large and wide as a Worldcon with that many, you know, like expectations of what a Worldcon is. You know, people are like, Worldcon without the autographing session and the live filking, which is, you know, singing about SFF. And I'm just like, those for me don't really, you know, for me, Worldcon is panels and friends and the Hugos. And those bits are replicable online. Differently, obviously, but replicable, right? And so I feel for people who are going to have a really, really, really different experience because some of their favorite bits aren't able to happen. But I also think that like my favorite bits can be done online, like easily. And there are, in fact, ways in which doing panels online is better because you can bring people from all over the world without making them travel and pay a lot of money. You can...
And no queuing for 30 minutes and then finding out you can't get in the room.
And also, no people who will be at the question section. Well, this is not really a question. This is more of an addendum, but like...
Yeah, you don't have to bring those comments up, you know? You can say, oh my God, Natalie, this one is actually too nice for me to bring up. Sorry. You can bring up the nice comments, you know. Worldling says there could be panels everyone dreams of. You know. Shannon says there's a lot of unknowns with DC Worldcon in the state of the world, which is sad.
This whole thing makes me wish that Helsinki would just, you know, try to run for another Worldcon.
Well, please give us a reason to visit Finland.
I will say, if there are people watching that don't know how how Worldcons run. It takes a super long time to plan a Worldcon because it's a really big event. There's thousands and thousands of people going. So, you know, it's something like the first time I heard about New Zealand Worldcon, they were bidding for it in 2014 at my first Worldcon in London, and they had a bid table and they had just announced it. They've been working on this for 6 years, like, you know, live in public, which means they've been working on preparing a bid for longer than that. So they've been working for like, you know, 7-8 years or something like that on this very specific bid in this Worldcon. And it's really upsetting that it can't happen the way they wanted it to happen, and that we're not currently all hanging out in New Zealand, because that would have been cool. But we need to find us, you know, I want to be finding silver linings. I don't feel it. I mean, look, I like a good complaint, but it does feel nice to be able to do a thing about it, you know? So
Natalie's asking if cosplay is part of Worldcon, because it seems like something that could thrive in digital space. And it is a part of Worldcon. They normally have a masquerade, like a parade and masquerade kind of thing.
They have a masquerade as well.
It is a part of Worldcon, but it's different from like media cons. You wouldn't see as many people, like, you know, in the halls and stuff in costume. That's not an expected part of it. What you would see is like the masquerade, which is, you know, I went last year because I was doing the social media for the convention. I'd never been before. And it's, you know, there's a bunch of amazing costumes showing up and some like dancing and music and stuff. And then there's scoring, judging and all of that. But it's weird because it's like padded with a bunch of, you know, like the judges have to deliberate after they've seen the thing. And so there's like half an hour of like bringing up science fiction and fantasy people and making them do comedian skits. And it's some people are good at it and some people are not good at it.
There's also a difference in like, so if you have a cosplay competition in say an anime con or a regular like media con, you usually have a set of judges that will prejudge the costumes based on how they are constructed, and then they will judge the presentation of the costumes on stage. And then they will quickly deliberate, and like the audience will like hear the results fairly quickly. But with the masquerade in Worldcon, first of all, you have multiple tiers. Like you have amateur to professional seamstress and costumer level tiers. And when you apply, you may apply in a certain category, but then the prejudging actually decides which category your costume will go in, because if it's too well constructed, they won't judge it as an amateur costume. So there's lots of different variables that wouldn't present themselves in our like a regular cosplay competition. Plus, there's like a lot of like original costuming, so people may not necessarily cosplay as a character from a franchise. They may also like do interpretations of fairy tale characters. Like last year, there was this awesome person who did the Kelpie.
Oh, that was cool.
Which was so fantastic.
People do interpretations of abstract concepts. Somebody did a version of a Yeats poem at the last one.
I mean, in Helsinki, there was a child who cosplayed as the Milky Way and won her category. So, you know.
Elizabeth says, I love not standing in line. And that's also, you know, an accessibility thing. You know, if you don't have physical, there's obviously different accessibility things with online spaces, right? For instance, it's going to be live streams, so we're not going to be able to have captions on them straight away, which, you know, sucks. But at some point, we need to make captions have. That's a problem for future Claire and future Adri, so that's fine. But you know, there are also a lot of accessibility issues that you don't run into if you don't have a physical space, you know, because people can enjoy it in their own homes. But
on some channels I've seen, like if people do live stream, they've done this thing where caps lock is reserved only for the person who is live captioning the stream. So basically, audience members are forbidden from using caps lock, and there's a person who is responsible for live captioning the live stream. I know that Tiny Kittens HQ does this.
Yeah. I mean, it's just that is a thing that we would look into if we had planned it for more than 5 days. It's also something that needs paying. You know, that's a really skilled job, and I'm not going to ask somebody to do that. And I'm talking just for me, because I'm not going to talk for everybody else, but I would be very uncomfortable asking somebody to do that. You know, like, it's 15 panels in a week, and, you know, you can't ask someone to do that for free, and we don't have a budget. Like, I calculated yesterday how much it would cost to get the person who does my captions to do captions for 15 hours of live streaming. And I was sad. So, you know, there's obviously solutions, but there is truth to the fact that it's a triangle with like quality, time, and money on each side of it, and you can have 2 but not 3. You know, you can go quick and do something crappy and not spend money. You can go quick and do something good but spend loads of money. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, cheap. So anyway, I think if we want to do it for cheap, we're going to have to volunteer to caption stuff, to correct the auto-generated captions ourselves. But yeah, anyway. Adrian makes an excellent point, which is that live streams that you can watch for free are one thing, but Worldcon itself could and should have set up a closed captioning system for their paid convention. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. This is accessibility is a huge issue. Like, for example, it would be so awesome if you could have like sign language interpreters in every panel and stuff, but then that goes to like things like every country has its own sign language system, and then like there are different levels of accessibility that like are really hard to make happen.
Well, we had that conversation for Helsinki. We had that conversation for Helsinki because one person wanted to bring sign language interpreters, and another person said, actually, you know, like, don't do that because it just, like you said, British Sign Language, US Sign Language is not the same. There's different types of British Sign Language, which I did not know, but I found out.
There's also Australian Sign Language, Finnish, Swedish, Danish Sign Language is all different.
Right. No, there's different languages in sign language, but there's different variants within the UK. What I was gonna say is that I found a site watching Jessica Kellgren-Fozard, and you should watch Jessica Kellgren-Fozard because she's bloody awesome. That I was just leading it to like watch this vintage gay disabled lady because she's awesome. But yeah, so for Helsinki, we ended up using like a live captioner who was like typing into a special, I don't know, live captioning machine. I don't actually know how this works, but I know that these conversations do happen. And like anyone who's ever used captions knows that you have to have a human correct the captions. Yeah.
Like last year.
At the Hugos, as Kelsey points out, that was bad. Someone should, that was just a bad decision that was made. They've apologized for it, obviously, but it was not a smart decision. And thank you, Natalie. I'm not seeing you. Oh, it's a cat. Natalie gave $1.50 with a sticker of a black cat, which I like. It's my favorite sticker because I like a black cat. Shannon says you should set up a GoFundMe or something for paying for CC for the console and fridge videos. Yes, this is something that Future Claire will investigate. Maybe
I mean, also you could have like a Patreon or something if the fringe programming becomes a yearly thing.
Right, but I want to. I mean, I would be game for doing it again, she says, after this actual week that happened in her life.
We have to take steps, little steps.
Right, but like
maybe see what happens
next
after
summer, do it
the
again.
panels.
No, I'm meant do it again next summer, next like July or something, but like start now. Working on it. But anyway, Shannon says Future Claire is awesome, and Future Claire is not happy with me right now. But I think that's something we need to consider. But fortunately, one of the main organizers is a lawyer, so I shall ask advice from Marguerite. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, let's see, what else do we have in the comments? Worlds in Ink makes an amazing point, which is that an online con could be a great way to create something new and innovative. I can talk. New and innovative without a baggage of years and years of outdated traditions and baggage, while making it far more inclusive to the community. Yes, to every single part of that sentence. That, it's just, it's hard to organize something as big as Worldcon. But it's really hard, and you need to know so many, like you need the experience that people who've been doing it for a really long time have. But sometimes it does translate in people telling you we're doing it this way because it was always done this way, and that's very annoying. So there we go. There is that. Anyway, I'm still super excited for actual Worldcon, by the way. Our panels are going to be cool, but like I'm very, very excited to watch like the actual convention and to be able to get into whatever you want. Yes. Rhea, I'm going to pop that in the solo layout so that people can see. Do you want to hold it up again?
I made a whole spreadsheet. The times are transferred from New Zealand time to Finnish time.
Good.
And this is the schedule tentatively. So technically, I'm not gonna sleep on Wednesday and Thursday.
Well, the interesting thing as well is that right now you can't log in to the schedule and like mark things as your favorite. I believe the issue is that if they let everybody log in now, you could like sign up for all of the workshops and cafe clutches and stuff, and that's why they're not letting people sign in right now. But I do always like click the little heart to favorite it, but you can't do that if you're not logged in. And I always get like when the kudos button is already lit up and you try to hit it again and it's like, no. Exactly like that.
Oh, Shannon says that you can log in now.
Oh, can you? Okay, well.
Well, if you can do that, then I will go and heart everything.
Yeah. Well, the thing that is also really cool about this Con Zealand, and I don't have the actual dates, so please double check. But I'm under the impression that you're gonna have one login for everything, for Grenadine, for the website, for the channels where you actually watch the panels on the Fantasy Network. And then that's going to last after the con as well, like not forever, but I think it's up for like 3 or 4 more days after the con. And the panels, once they've been streamed and stuff, they're gonna be up. So, if you wanted, I mean, obviously people will want to be in the comments and stuff and be live. That makes sense. I like watching stuff live too. But you know, if there's a thing that is at 5 a.m. your time and you do want to sleep, then you can watch it the next day, which is like, what?
But my convention experience.
No, I know. It's different. It's different, but there are pros and cons, right?
Yes, true.
So, but yeah, it's. I'm excited to see how it goes. I'm really excited to see how it goes. I think they're going to set up.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it'd be nice if it was safe enough to be around humans next year to have conventions.
Yes. I miss the artist alleys. That's the thing that's gonna break my heart, is not having a physical artist alley.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's something that, you know, it's not like it's hard to have to have an online store, right? But it's just not the same thing.
Yeah, it's not the same as, you know, being able to like go to an artist table to browse and have actual conversations with them.
Yeah, I know.
You know, without being annoying. But are we going to talk about the elephant in the Hugo room?
Which elephant?
The Silverberg elephant, or did they already remove him from the?
Well, I don't think they are going to remove him because from what I know, the Hugos are like most of the Hugos is pre-recorded. Like all the bits that aren't basically opening the envelopes is pre-recorded. Yeah. I think I believe what happens is one person is presenting and opening all the envelopes live, and then they're pasting in like bits that they have pre-filmed. So like, I knew they wouldn't remove him when I complained about it on Twitter, but you know.
Okay, well, at least since it's pre-recorded, we can hope that his skits are going to be relatively short. You know.
I mean, I don't have more information than that, so
hopefully no more boob jokes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, hopefully he doesn't go on a racist-ass rant.
I wonder if
that was what I was thinking.
If I was
double speed him.
If I was the people organizing the con and I knew the history, I mean, look, if I was running the thing, I wouldn't have invited him. But I will say, anyone, I mean, they must be reviewing quite carefully any footage that they get that's like a pre-recorded thing, right? Like they must be doing that. So I don't know. I mean,
I agree, Kelsey. I'm going to miss the dealer's room a lot. I was really looking forward to what it would be like.
Exactly. Think about it. I was so excited about having the possibility of like going through like Maori authors, especially, and New Zealand like small press authors. But
yeah,
like I've been so sad this whole week. Like I've been basically sea-starring on the floor of my flat because the whole grief over over the trip being cancelled, and now that it's during the time that we should be there, it's like it's hitting me like.
Yeah, see, the thing is, when it was during the time where I should have been on the flight, it was fine because I could tell myself that at least I wasn't on a fucking 33-hour flight.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I'm not a Hobbiton.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that, I mean, there are other things in the Lord of the Rings sets in New Zealand that I was really excited to see. But yeah, like, I think the day that I was supposed to fly out, somebody that I follow on BookTube uploaded the final part of their vlog where they traveled to New Zealand like over New Year when it was still possible to do, and I was like,
I think it was Olivia's catastrophe. I
Yes.
haven't been able to watch any of her New Zealand vlogs, even though I enjoy her content, because I've been so devastated about not being able to go myself that I'm just like, no.
It was just the timing. It was just the timing of when it popped up on
Yeah.
my timeline. I was like,
And her thumbnail.
And I mean, I like her channel 'cause-
fun.
I mean, I don't, you know, I'm not mad at her because obviously I watch her stuff and I'm
obviously.
subscribed, right? But I was just like, no, fuck you, universe. Oh dear, oh dear.
Curse you, 2020.
I know. E says that I wouldn't have been able to go this year, but I'm still so sad that it isn't happening. I can't live vicariously through everyone's vlogs and yarn and book hauls. I mean, it was gonna make for good content.
The yarn. I had spreadsheets for all the yarn shops that I was going to visit.
Oh my god, amazing. Jake says the universe is mean. Sorry, I misclicked. Adri says I would have been flying right now.
I mean, that the whole thing.
Sorry, that was my sigh of like
I know.
feels.
The whole thing
But-
was like Joe was supposed to come to Finland first, and we were supposed to fly out together from Helsinki. And then Joe uploaded a video, I think, on the 18th about how he wasn't able to go. And I was like, you were supposed to be here right now.
You know what though? I've decided that I'm really looking forward to Virtual Worldcon, and it's going to be a first-time experience, and I think that's going to be fantastic.
I mean,
it'll be like the being able to say that you were at one of the first Worldcons. I was at one of the first Worldcons with like all online content.
yeah.
Yep.
I realized I told you I would tease some of the panels that we've got for Con Zealand Fringe, and then I did not. I'm not going to say all of them because I think we want to do a big fancy announcement and stuff. But we do have a panel about New Zealand spec fic that was put together by a Maori author with, you know, some people that she knows. So like I had nothing to do with that because she did everything and she was amazing. But we're going to open with that because it would not have been fitting to do, you know, anything else. We're going to have a panel. We're going to have Dear Worldcon fandom welcome to BookTube. You know, just to be like, hey, here's what we do. We have a bunch of panels about like fan reviewing, fan criticism, stuff like that. Like, you know, a kind of a deep dive into podcasting as well. We have some really cool literary panels. I'm not going to say what it's about, but I named a panel Dragons on a Spaceship, and I was well happy about that. There's well, like I said, there's a couple of things that are maybe more like BookTube content, like favorites of the year, and you know, favorites of the year, and anticipated stuff. There's a fandom panel about the joy of fan fiction, which I'm super excited to see. So you know, it will be out in the world very soon anyway, because the first panel, the panel on modern Aotearoa New Zealand spec fic, that's on Tuesday morning UK time, so that it can be at a decent time for the New Zealanders that are going to be on it. I think it's going to be on my channel, and I'm just going to be like, hi, here's some people, and just take myself out of StreamYard to let people talk. I think that's what's going to happen. But, you know, the chaos energy of this project means that something else could happen.
It could be moderators lined up for the chats.
Sorry, what?
Do you have enough moderators lined up for the chats?
Are you volunteering?
I mean, I mean, do I ever have anything better to do?
I mean, you were talking about writing your thesis.
I mean, I have 3 monitors here, so 4 if I put that one on.
The thing is, moderation is something that AI can do. B, I don't have to be visible for, so it doesn't matter if it's always me doing it. So I kind of left that because I was like, if I find more people, it's fine. And if not, I can just do all of it because I'll be watching the stuff anyway. But I'll talk to you because there's a couple. I think I'm going to do some actual live streams for my job during the week as well, since I'm not traveling, so we'll see. Oh dear. Thank you so much. Worlds and Inks says all of the panels sound amazing. I'm really looking forward to releasing the schedule because Natalie says, I wish boat travel was the norm. Months on a boat.
No boats.
I mean,
no
fair
boats.
enough. Like I'm not. I've been on ferries before, not been seasick, but I've never done like a. I think the longest that I've been on a ferry was like the crossing between France and England. So it's not.
The whole reason why the eastern seafront of Finland and Sweden is completely polluted is because of the constant ferry travel between Sweden, Finland, and Estonia. Also, Also, ferries are like basically a constant invitation for plague.
Yeah. Cruises are bad for plague. We have seen evidence of that. But I'm very impatient. So like for me, months of the same thing is just not nice, as evidenced by this timeline. But whatever floats your boats. Dragons on a spaceship sounds better than dinosaurs on a spaceship. I forgot there was an episode of Doctor Who called that. It wasn't a. It was a snakes on a plane joke, not a dinosaurs on a spaceship joke. I'm gonna be honest. It was a snakes on a plane joke.
Do you know if the Doctor Who episode was also a snakes on a plane joke?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I guess. I don't know. I mean, there was an actual spaceship and actual dinosaurs on it, right? If I recall. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't watch Doctor Who. I just know about it.
I don't know. I watch Doctor Who and then it goes like out of my brain because it doesn't make sense and it's not, like I don't have the nostalgia for it. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to interrupt really quickly to say that I'm a total dummy who's been sitting here saying, I wish I had the stitch count for each of these rows. And all I had to do was scroll down and there was an entire table.
There's an entire table. There is.
Oh. Let's see. Joe is in the chat. Welcome. And says Fringe Worldcon. Well, Fringe Con Zealand Fringe. We need to find a better name for it. Fringe and virtual Worldcons will be great to people, especially. Yes, that is true. I mean, that's always the best bit, right? That's the bit that I'm really gonna miss.
Are we going to talk about media before we go?
Yes, we should. We definitely should.
I've got kind of a hard stop at 3 and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
Shall me and Rachel start? Because we have been watching Farscape, the first season, almost every weekend.
The best thing about the first season of Farscape so far is the episode where we just saw a lot of Erin's abs.
That is true. She was wearing a crop top the entire episode, and my eyes were just respectfully zooming into her, like.
Yeah. Yep.
Also, the makeup and prosthetics work has really stood the test of time.
Yes,
well,
it's
so
nice that they have the puppets instead of CGI for characters. Like, I appreciate that so much. I don't know if any other show has ever done that.
Except for that one episode where they showed CGI Rigel walking, and it was such an uncanny valley experience that I was just like cringing out of my skin.
The Rigel puppet looks fantastic, even though I think the character is disgusting. I could do without some of the close-up shots of him eating. Like, why?
Or farting helium being a long-standing running joke.
Oh, the bit where his sweat was turning into nitroglycerin or something.
Yes, explosives.
Maybe I just don't want bodily fluids in my science fiction television shows. But anyway, it's been really fun.
Also, like, some of the science has been surprisingly good. Like, there was that one bit in was it the first or second episode where we were like, this wouldn't fly. Like, this is probably completely wrong. And then it turns out that it's actually a valid scientific thing.
Yeah, we both thought, like, this is atmospheric braking, not speeding up, but it's like a literal thing that you can use the atmosphere to like slingshot or something. I would not have guessed it was a real thing.
Yeah.
It's really bad science. KJ, I have seen all but the last couple of episodes of Lex. I actually had the theme song as my ringtone for about 6 years of university, and only a single person ever recognized it. It was truly bizarre, but I had a thing for it.
What is Lex? Do I even want to know?
Yeah, it's practically like a cult sci-fi show at this point. It's been over a decade since I watched it, but it's bizarre. It's another like ragtag group of desperados in I think isn't it a living spaceship in that as well? Something like that. One of the main characters is like a dead but alive assassin.
Of an assassin, though.
I mean, sounds pretty awesome, actually.
I think it was like 4 seasons, and yeah. I don't remember the toilet scene, KJ, but possibly I've scrubbed it from my brain.
Living spaceship, we have confirmed. I love a living spaceship. It's such a it's just a trope that I've really loved in a lot of different things. There's actually a panel on living spaceships at Con Zealand. So in the actual con program.
I'm gonna try to make it to that one, yeah.
Yeah. I would not be surprised.
Spaceship.
Sorry?
Farscape has a living spaceship too, and it's great.
Let's see. Have I been watching anything? We've continued to watch like random episodes of The Simpsons since we got Disney Plus. In the like early seasons before it got like weirdly conservative and bad. Well, and weirdly, it's not weird. They got rich, so they got conservative. That's what happened.
Also,
but
they went on Fox.
Yeah.
They were always on Fox.
Were they?
Yeah, I think they were like one of Fox.
I don't know.
First shows.
Or is it that Fox turned more conservative at some point?
I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know about that history, but that show went for a super long time anyway. I mean, still going.
Yeah.
Way too long. But you know, there's some fun early episodes. John is curating it so that we're watching episodes that are not gonna drive me up the wall. Because you know. Anyway. So I've been watching a lot of Reading Rush vlogs mostly. That's been my media this week, has been Reading Rush vlogs.
Which reminds me, I should probably edit mine at some point.
Oh, sorry to remind you of that.
I feel like I'm making a giant coaster. Like I have a hat coaster.
Like it looks like you could turn it into a beret.
Maybe.
Mine is still yarmulke sized.
Mine is really stiff because I'm not using the right kind of yarn. That's probably part of the problem. But
Yeah,
I have been watching all of Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is just
yeah.
joy every time I rewatch it.
yes.
John has recently said that he wanted to watch that. He's never seen it, and I love it. So I'm looking forward to when we actually start that. Looking forward to it a lot.
If you haven't seen Avatar, close your ears for just a hot second. Zach also hasn't seen it, and we're almost to the episode.
Let me do a thing. I'm gonna put a spoiler warning on screen. So Zach hasn't seen it.
He's watching it for the first time. And we're in the third season. We're almost to my favorite episode, which is the one where they watch it's the one where they watch the play about themselves.
Ember Island.
The meta wrap-up episode. And I'm so excited for him to see it.
It's so fan fiction-y. Like, it gives you so many thoughts about, like, you know, just
I know.
It's also like super
like,
it's also like super anime inspired because like those kind of wrap up episodes are like a staple in anime shows, which yes, and Avatar: The Last Airbender takes like a lot of cues from Japanese animation in general.
Well, yeah, and there's the episode where Aang is having all the nightmares and he can't sleep, and when he falls asleep in one of them, he's Goku.
Yes. There's so many references in that because there's like a Naruto reference, Dragon Ball reference.
Yeah, there's Naruto, this is the next one,
One Piece. And all of the dream sequences in that episode are basically nods to different shonen battle series that were a huge thing while the series was being made.
Yeah, I'm also... Some people have been talking about what nation they are in Avatar. Shall I remove the spoiler banner now?
Yes.
Some people have been talking about what nation they are in Avatar, you know, as a replacement for if you don't want to talk about a certain system of distributing yourself into, you know, personalities. And I think I'm definitely Fire Nation because I have no patience.
I'm water for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm fire because I have no patience. And also, if we're doing astrology, I'm a fire sign for both my sun and moon.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I
don't know how these work.
I'm a Leo sun, Aries moon. So, like, yeah. Make of that what you will, astronomy fans.
I don't know how that works. What's I'm a Capricorn. What kind of sign is that?
That
I think Capricorn. Is it?
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
Thank you.
It's Capricorn, then Aquarius, which is air, and then Pisces, which is water.
Wait, how is Aquarius not a water sign? That's ridiculous.
It's an air sign.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up. Okay. No, give me the big image. I don't want the thumbnail.
Adri says that Capricorn is an earth
sign.
sign.
Okay.
Adri also says
hello, fellow Capricorn, she says.
Yay. Adri also says that she's a water. She's got the tattoo and everything.
I mean, she's also got the water like emblem on her icon, so.
Right, but I think she also has a tattoo of it, is what she's saying, which is fun. Let's see. Has my astrology told you things about me that you didn't know? No. No, you're an open book, woman.
Yeah.
Let's see. Has anyone else got any media that they want to talk about before we start?
just watched The Old Guard last night, and it was excellent. Like, it is a little bloody and violent, so if that's like not your thing, then just know that going in. But it's a really fun action movie. They did a really great job with the cast. I definitely have been reading a bunch of fics since I finished it last night. Thank you, Kay, for giving me all the good recs.
Yeah, I mean that is what Kay does.
But yeah, so aside from soccer, that's been the only other media that I've been consuming recently.
I'm trying to think of, like, I watched the anime movie from Netflix called Whisker Away, which is about this girl who is trying to deal with the divorce of her parents and the fact that she now has a new stepmom, and she doesn't really want to accept it. So she gets this mask from a magical cat mask seller, which then turns her into a cat. And
Nice.
it's so much fun. A little stalkerish.
Sorry.
A little stalkerish with the romance thing, but that's par for the course usually with Japanese anime.
I mean, to be fair, with like just a lot of movies, Hollywood movies do that a lot.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that I wanted a thing to transform me into a cat so I could just sleep all day. But I think it's an observation I make regularly. So,
but it's like a super super cute movie, and it's like an hour and a half long, and yeah, it was such a cute movie. I liked it.
Oh, I forgot to mention the other thing I watched since we did our last Stitch and Bitch was the new Babysitters Club series from Netflix.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for like just a really heartwarming show that does a good job of adapting something that you might have read when you were younger, the Babysitters Club did a very, very good job, and there's very good trans representation, and they did a really great job with all the casting. Kevin from Brooklyn Nine-Nine is one of the dads, and Alicia Silverstone is one of the moms. So yeah, I highly recommend it. It's very good.
Sorry, my display is doing something really worrisome, and this is a very new computer. So someone else talk while I try to figure this out. Jeez.
Well, should we start with what to look for on our channel?
We should.
Okay. I don't want to start, though. Rhea, start.
I just saw Rachel turn the mute thing off, so I thought that she was going to talk.
Oh, no. I unmuted myself.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping to put up a wrap-up or discussion on the Hugo short story nominees. I was supposed to do novelettes and graphic novels as well, but, things happen, and then I only have material for the short story category, so I'm trying to get that out. And I'm also working on a new series of videos regarding costumes in adaptation. So that's gonna happen eventually. So I currently have like 5 reference books waiting for me in the library. So this is gonna be very involved.
I'm very excited. No pressure.
I mean, might as well do something with my degree, right?
Hey.
Yeah, it's really going to be cool to see. I'm really excited. Well, the next thing that'll show up on my channel that is not the Concealant Fringe is going to be genre-wise, and that will happen whenever I have time to make it. It's something that takes a while to make, and because I've been doing other things, I haven't made it. But I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have time, like, in this coming week anyway, and it'll be fun to do. And then back to regularly scheduled programming after Concealant Fringe. One thing that one thing that I need to get out really soon is anticipated books for August and September. I've got a big old list, so that's really exciting to see. That's going to be fun to film. So that's me.
I have 2 videos filmed that I need to edit. The first one is a review of Sisters of the Vast Black, which I've been meaning to edit or to film forever. I loved it.
I mean, lovely is like a deadly plague, but sure, it's good. It's great.
I mean, yes, if you're feeling all of the plague feels right now, maybe not the right book, but otherwise, I really liked it. And then I have one that is a video about kind of how to read books without supporting an author, essentially.
Topical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have that much coming up on my channel because I'm going to be on vacation doing things with other people for the next 2 weeks. So I will reappear for Fringe Worldcon programming briefly, and then I have no idea when I will next make a video because I will be knee deep in Con Zealand, and then I have like actual vacation, getting out of the house, spending time with family after that. So I don't know. I'm currently in a semi-hiatus state and don't know when that will end. Probably sometime when the weather is cooler and I have more time. And, yeah.
I have nothing planned.
Watching lots of soccer?
No, that was the last game of the tournament, and men's soccer. I'll probably watch basketball. Is there
going to be any new sports events? I saw the video with Dr. Fauci opening up baseball or something. I know nothing of baseball, though.
Oh, yeah. He did a very bad first pitch for the Nats. It was real bad. It was. I mean, people are joking that, of course, he threw like that because he doesn't want anyone to catch anything.
Yeah, no, I saw that, and I thought it was amazing.
It became an instant meme that I saw. But, I saw the video... sorry.
I did see the tweet of the guy who said, of the person who said, like, I trust his science more now that I know he's real bad at sports. And I thought that was cute.
Okay. We have hit 3:00.
Yes, we have hit 3:00. For y'all, it's 9. I'm going to go make some fish and chips. And I hope everybody has an amazing rest of your day, evening, whatever. And yeah, whose channel are we on next? Do we know?
It will be me. Moi. My channel.
Amazing. Well, see y'all. Maybe Con Zealand Fringe, maybe Con Zealand, definitely Rhea's channel in August.
Right. I just have to say that whenever anyone pronounces my name with the hard R, I just get flutters in my chest because it's so nice.
I try. I don't get it every time, but I try.
I mean, it's
I can't try again because now you've made me self-conscious. But you're very soon. No. You're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Someone else do goodbyes. I'm bad at goodbyes.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.